This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, hi, good evening all.
Good evening, this is Sheila.
Good evening.
Yeah, hi, hi all. Okay, so did we had introduction in the demo session? Even if we had, no, I must have forgotten. So let's have quick round of introduction so that we understand each other, and then from there on we'll start the demo. We'll start our first class. Okay,
Uh,
just to understand if you have any experience or if you have any knowledge into HR or HR applications or SAP or any other applications. Okay.
sure. I think I was in the last class, but I didn't give the introduction. I joined in the second or third class. Then
Okay.
I did not continue my class, so I just wanted to continue from going forward from today. And this is Sheila.
Okay,
I
sure.
have a total 16 years of talent acquisition experience, which is in recruiting, onboarding, and HR. When I say
Hmm.
onboarding and HR, I have experience in Workday. So that's about me in a short way, and I'm looking forward for SAP Employment Central and onboarding training.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you,
Thank you.
Sheila.
Thank you.
Yeah. Others? Akshay?
Hello. Yeah. So I have no prior experience to this, so I'm a complete newbie, and I'm really hoping to learn from you and know more about SAP and all of this.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Akshay. Mulya?
Mm, Good evening. I have just completed my graduation in the stream of BBA and I have no experience in SAP and I'm looking forward to know a lot about SAP.
Okay. Yeah. Then who is this? KR? I see the name as KR. Is it Raj?
Hi, my name is Karthik. I'm
Yeah.
a
Hi,
newbie
Karthik.
as well. No experience. This is new to me. So I'm excited to learn SAP from you.
Okay.
EC.
Thank you, Karthik. Nisha?
Uh, yeah, hi. Good evening to everyone. So, just have a small introduction. I'm in HR operations. So, mostly I'm doing onboarding and all. And just, yeah, I have like almost 2 years of experience. I'm working and yeah, looking forward to learn in the success factor.
Okay. Thank you, Nisha. Ruhi, Sangeeta?
Yeah, good evening, Venu. I'm Sangeeta from Abu Dhabi. I don't have any prior experience in SAP. Actually, I have 8+ years of experience in operations. I'm planning to my career transition into SAP.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I want to learn more into this SAP success factors.
Thank you, Sangeeta. Shakti?
Hi, myself Shakti, HR professional, mostly from the generalist profile, around 12 years of experience and currently in Canada. And I'm very excited to start my career as a success factor consultant here.
Yeah.
And
Thank you,
fortunate,
Shakti.
good feedback about you doing a good research with all of the available trainers that we have. I'm fortunate to have you as a trainer.
Thank you very much, Shakti, for kind words. Shiva?
Hi Venu, good evening. I'm Shiva from Chennai. So I have overall 7+ years experience into Indian payroll and as well as from Canada payroll. So mostly my work experience into HR operations and payroll processing. So currently I just looking forward to success factor. So that's all about me. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Shiva. Sri Lakshmi?
Uh, Hi, actually, I have 2 years of experience in ID recruiting, but I don't have any experience in SAP. I'm fresher to this.
Okay. Okay then. So let me introduce myself. I'm Venu. I have around 16 years of experience into of field of HR. Okay. So into the out of the 16 years, 3 years into functional, the domain knowledge of HR, and then 8 years into success factors and 5 years into SAP HCM. In these 8 years of success factors experience, I've worked on modules like Employee Central, compensation, PMGM, and RCM modules. Okay, and coming to teaching, I have uh, teaching experience like almost 12 years. I used to train earlier on SAP HCM, and then after moving to success factors, I have started training on success factors, employee central, and compensation modules. Though I have worked on performance management and recruiting only a limited period, like three months in each area. I am not that proficient in those modules, so I don't train in those modules. I only train either EC or the compensation modules. Okay, so that's a quick brief introduction about me. Moving to our session, the first topic for today is I think all of you are new to success factors, doesn't have any SAP experience. So few things, maybe these are the new terms that you would be hearing. Okay, as and when or whenever you feel that you need more information or you need to have more understanding on it, you just ping me and ask me. Okay, do not hesitate to ask any kind of questions, even if somebody has already asked that question, but you still want to have more information. Okay, please ask. I'm ready to tell you, explain you in a different way, or in another way, any number of times. Okay, don't worry about others. You want to learn more, understand more, keep asking questions. Okay. So the first and the foremost topic is the roles and responsibilities of a success factors consultant. So all of us, after learning these success factors, will be looking out for a job for success factors consultant. Okay, right? So what would be our roles when we get into this job? Usually any application that you learn, you will have a technical and a functional. Okay, what does a technical guy do? Technical consultants, they develop, they do the coding. Whereas a functional consultant will configure the system, the existing system, they will just do the configuration. So success factors is a cloud computing HRIS application which is already developed by SAP. SAP has developed it. Will not be doing any kind of development here. So there is no technical part here. The product is already developed. It's a global product. Whatever features that we have in this product would be implementing for the customer. Okay, in SAP we have technical roles and functional roles, but here in SuccessFactors we don't have these roles. We only have one role called a SuccessFactors consultant, whether it is a junior consultant or a lead consultant or a senior consultant. All of them would be doing the same job. In SAP HR or in Oracle HR product, you'll be having different roles like a technical consultant who develops or who customizes the product, functional consultant who configures the system, basis consultant or a IT consultant who would be moving the configurations or setting up the system landscape. And then ESS MSS consultant who would be setting up the front end UI part for the users. We'll have workflow consultants who would be setting up the approvals. We don't have these many roles in success factors and we only have one role which is called a functional consultant or a success factors consultant who would be handling all of these things. Does that mean that we don't do any kind of customizations? Yes, we do some customization. Success factors allow us to do some customizations to some extent. If I have to add a field, a success factors is a standard or a global product which gives a lot of functionalities, and all of these may not be required for all customers. Example, we have a screen where we can go and create a company or create a department. So one of the customer has asked us to create a department called engineering, asked us to create a department called production. So we have this screen called department where you go and create a department, engineering or no production or sales or HR or finance. So all of these departments what we have created for customer X may not be required for other customer. So firstly, who is a customer? Can somebody tell me who is a customer? Customer is a end user who is going to use the application. Example, company called PepsiCo. PepsiCo is a company for whom success factors is to be implemented. So PepsiCo is my customer. All the employees of PepsiCo want to use success factors application as their employee self-service portal. So PepsiCo is a customer. Who implements the success factors application? Is done by partner. These are called implementation partner. Implementation partner is a company or authorized company who implements success factors for customers. Examples, Deloitte, IBM, Wipro, Capgemini. So these are big names. So we also have a lot of small or mid-sized companies as well. So these are all implementation partners. Now, who is a consultant? Consultant is someone who implements success factor system for customer. And the consultant is hired by implementation partner. Can customer hire consultants to implement success factors? No. They cannot hire consultants to implement. Consultants are always hired by implementation partner. Through implementation partner, they will be doing the implementations. Okay. Now, this consultant will do all of the activities starting from configuring, customizing, approvals, ESS, MSS, security part. All of this is taken care by the consultant. Any doubts so far? Most of you are working in a HR department. What would be your roles and responsibilities? HR executive, HR manager, HR assistant, HR trainee. So these are the roles that we have in HR department, right? So depending on the role, your responsibilities also varies. HR VP, HR business partners or HR executives or HR managers, senior HR manager, HR director, HR associate or HR intern. So these are the roles. What will you be doing in any organization? You would be looking after the employees. You'll be looking after the employee data maintenance, right? So the consultant configures the system, success factor system for customer. And success factors is an application which is mostly used by the HRs of the organization. What does HRs do? HRs maintain all of this master data. HRs hires the employees. HR transfers, promotes, suspends, terminations. So all of these are done by HR. And employees log into the system for various activities like updating their information, applying leaves, looking at their pay slips, looking at their salary slips, downloading the documents like appointment letter or promotion letter, applying leaves. Okay, so all of these are done by employees. So every employee of the organization will be logging into SuccessFactors application. When they log into SuccessFactors application, they'll see all of the features that are configured by a consultant. So here we have in SuccessFactors, we have two types of projects. First one is called implementation, and second is called support. Good thing in SuccessFactors is every customer who uses SuccessFactors application, they should have the consultants working with them in supporting them. So first thing is the implementation. So what do we do in implementation? Customer doesn't know anything about SuccessFactors. Customer want to have SuccessFactors application implemented for them. So consultants will sit with them, understand their requirement, gather all of the requirements, and configures the system as per their needs. One of the customer asked me to configure a transfer 2 levels of approval. So the next customer that I work, no, that customer has asked me to configure a workflow or configure a transfer process with 4 levels of approvals. One of the customers said, I don't want to have any approval while transferring the employee. Let manager transfer the employee. Okay, so different customers have different processes, and we have to understand the customer's requirement and configure the system in such a way that the customer uses the application. Okay, it can be for any process: transfers, promotions, suspensions, hiring, rehiring, terminating. So we have to understand how they process this data. While hiring the employee, some companies they follow a certain checklist while hiring the employee. You have your personal information, you have your address information captured, your contact information captured, and then your org information, your salary information, or the comp information is captured. Some customers may say that we don't want to have all of this, we want to have only minimum details. Or some customers may say that we pull out all of these details from recruiting. So we need to understand what does the customer want to have. SuccessFactors gives you many functionalities, hundreds of functionalities. Not every customer uses all of these functionalities. So as a consultant, you sit with the customer, understand their requirement, document them, and configure the system, hand it over to customer. That is implementation. Second type of project is support. Once the implementation is completed, your customer may be asking for changes in the system, or this can be changes or enhancements or bug fixes. If there are any configuration issues, maybe something which was configured in the implementation is not working for all scenarios. In some scenario, it is failing. So we'll have to understand what is wrong with the configuration and fix that configuration issue. That is in support. In support, we do various activities like incident management. Incident management means customer creates a ticket saying that this is not working. You'll have to go look at that issue, understand, analyze, fix that issue, update the customer. That's incident management. Any kind of issues that customer is facing related to the product, they will be creating a ticket. A ticketing tool or now the tickets what they create can be in different applications. Can be a success factors application, it can be a service now, or it can be some ticketing tool or through email. Some customers I say that I don't want to use any ticketing tool, I want to track all of this the email. Okay, so that's incident management. Second is change management. Customer is using a transfer process, a workflow or the approval, two-level approval process for transfer. Initially, they said they don't want to have any approval process for promotion, but now they want to have the similar process for promotion as well. So that's a change in the system. They want to add some additional field into one of the employee profile page. Maybe they want to add some information related to personal information or contact information or job information. So that's a change. So we need to understand what is that change to be done, implement that change in the system through change management. And then last one would be your release management. Success factors updates or upgrades the product once in 6 months, like any other product. If you take an example of a WhatsApp application or a Facebook application or a LinkedIn. So these applications also gets updated. What do we see in the updates? Now these updates may contain some new functionalities included into the product, added into the product. The other day I've seen WhatsApp sending some message saying that this is a new feature which is available in your product. Okay. Now you can send your money, you can send any kind of documents, you can send a contact or you can send a location, you can share the location. Now all of these features are not available in the initial days. They started developing or they keep on improving the product by updates. Same thing, success factors also updates their product once in 6 months or twice a year. We'll talk about more about release management, what comes in release management. So how do we handle, what would be our role in the release management, that we'll discuss separately. So success factors also updates the product, and as a consultant, you should know what are the new functionalities that have come in that release. Maybe some things which are not available now are available after this release. What are those new functionalities? So as a consultant, you should be knowing about the release features as well, because maybe for one of the customer that I have worked, customer has asked some functionality which is not existing, but now that functionality is available. You may have to implement that for the new customer. So you should know what is available in the product and what is not. That we do it through release management. So these are the responsibilities of success factors implementation and support consultant. Clear? Any doubts so far on
No.
roles and responsibilities or types of projects? Yeah, Shakti has got a question. Go ahead, Shakti.
Yeah, I wanted to know, starting a career as a success factor consultant, what are the stages of career? Let's say one has to start from support, that to how
No,
many
it
months
is
and years?
no, no. It is nothing. You can be hired as a support consultant or you can be hired as an implementation consultant. There's nothing like no, you should always start with implementation or you should always start with support. No. Both the roles needs equal amount of knowledge. Implementation, when you are doing implementation for a customer, you should understand the process, how to implement for the customer, how to gather the information, how to configure the system. In support, once the configuration is completed, if the customer raises some question, if customer says, no, this screen is not working, you should be able to analyze and fix it. You should know what is the configuration that was done. Oh, what was the wrong in that configuration. You should know that. You'll also
Okay.
be doing change management. Your customer may ask for some changes in the system. Now, these changes are nothing but the implementation, what you have done. A change can be a small change like adding one field in one block of employee profile, or it can be one big change like a complete change in a new block that is to be created. So it can be done as part of implementation, or it can also be done as a part of change.
Okay, just addition to that, what is the timeline of a implementation project? Let's say if we start for a MNC
Yes,
to implement a project.
it depends upon the size of the project that we are implementing. So the minimum, you know, minimum number of employees that I have worked is 200 employees, 180 to 200 employees, which took only 4 months for me to implement, 3 to 4 months. 3 months is what I have given the timeline, but it went on like 4 months. So minimum can be 6 months, and it goes on. Now it depends upon the number of employees that we are implementing for and the changes that they want to have. Some customer says, I don't want to have any changes in the system. I want to go with vanilla product. That means whatever success factors gives, just implement for me. It doesn't take much time. Okay, 4 to 6 months, you can complete. Some customers ask for a lot of changes. I don't want to see this. I want to see, some additional features or some additional fields, some additional portlets, some additional blocks. I want this logic in the system. I want this validations in the system. I want this automation to happen in the system. So if you have changes like this, it may take more time, 8 months to 1 year.
Okay, and how about the headcount, like say 5 to 10,000?
Head headcount, sometimes the headcount doesn't matter, like 5,000 employees or 10,000 employees or 15,000 employees. The configuration remains same. We don't do any changes in the configuration for number of employees, but we'll have to maintain the data in system. We'll have to upload the data. So if I have to prepare a file to upload the data, maybe for 5,000 employees, it takes 10 minutes. For 15,000 or 20,000, it may need only 11 minutes or 12 minutes. The additional data that I'll just have to copy and paste it here. So it depends on the number of configurations, number of changes that your customer is asking.
Thank you,
So when
Venu.
I say it depends on the number of employees, 200 employees and 10,000 employees, there is a difference. In 200 employees, you may not need all of the functionalities. But in 10,000 employees, maybe you have different scenarios to be implemented. Got it?
Yeah, thank you, Venu.
Yeah. Any other doubts?
Hi, Manu.
Yeah, hi. Go
Uh,
ahead, Nisha.
yeah, I just wanted to ask, like, it will be the implementation or the support also. Do we need some kind of a coding or something?
We don't do any kind of coding here in SuccessFactors. No coding. Everything that we configure, we use the front end screens.
Got it.
Okay, we don't do any kind of coding. We have a coding called the XML files. We have some XML files.
Mm.
These are called data models. Again, these data models are available in SuccessFactors portals. One of the portal users will just have to download that file and upload it into customer systems.
Okay. Even if there will be
But
a customization, then
yeah,
that
if there
would
is
be
any
available.
change, yeah, that is again in this XML file there are modifications that can be done. Most of the times, 90% of the times you don't do any changes here. 10% you may have to go and tweak it. We'll have that XML knowledge. We'll be
Okay.
discussing about the data models and XML files in the coming sessions. We have 2 sessions on this XML file. Everybody, after those 2 sessions, everybody will be able to open XML file. If I ask you to change something or add something, you'll be able to do. It's easy. Okay. We'll not be doing any kind of coding here. It's just
Mhm.
changing something on the system. Already
Oh,
available code, you go now. If it is true, set it to false. If it is no required, it is no set it to optional. Those things you'll be doing.
got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Now the types of systems that we have in success factors. We have 2 types of system. One is provisioning, and second is instance. We have provisioning and instance. So all of the implementations that we do or support that we do, there are some functionalities we do in provisioning, some configurations we do in instance. Only 10% of the entire configuration, or not even 10, let's say 5 to 10% of the configuration is done in the provisioning, and rest of the configuration, 90 to 95% of the configuration is done in the instance. So we enable the functionalities in provisioning and we do the configuration in instance. Example, if your customer want to use workflows are nothing but approvals. You first go enable that functionality in provisioning system. Once you enable that, the configuration related to that functionality starts showing up in instance. You'll have to go and configure how many levels of approval you want to have. What is the first level of approval? Where should it go for second level of approval? Who should be receiving the notification? When do you want to have the reminder set? So all of those things you'll be configuring in instance. But the basic functionality, you first enable it in the provisioning. So in provisioning, we only enable or disable the functionality. So all of those functionalities of success factors are available in provisioning. Within Employee Central, we have different functionalities like workflows, we have position management, we have dependent management, we have global assignment, we have time offs, we have time sheets. So you want to use this functionality, you go first enable it in the provisioning, and then the configuration related to that functionality will be available in instance once you enable it in provisioning. So you do 90% of the configuration here in instance. But to do this 90% of configuration, you need to enable or you need to do the configuration in the provisioning. This is mandatory. This 5 to 10% is mandatory. Without having the provisioning settings, you cannot go and implement instance or configure an instance. Now, who can log into provisioning and who can log into instance? Provisioning can only logged in by certified consultants. Here, anybody can log in. Anybody with access can log into instance. Provisioning access is not given to everybody. The prerequisite for accessing the provisioning system is a certification. So it should have a certification to configure or to log into provisioning system. Instance, your certification is not required. You need the knowledge to configure. Whereas here in the provisioning, along with knowledge, you should also have certification. Okay. So these are the two types of system. We'll talk more about certification, how to do certification, what comes in certification, when to do the certification. That I will explain you in detail. Okay. So the next topic is landscape. System landscape or the architecture of system. Like any other product, success factors has also got a landscape. We use a number of systems to configure, test, and deploy. So we use whenever a customer enrolls for a success factors application, they are given with three systems. They are called development, quality, and production. All the customers across the globe will have these three systems: dev, quality, and production. Dev is nothing but development, QA is a quality or testing, and then production system. Consultants will log into development system. Quality system, consultants along with some business users or process owners. System. All the employees. All the employees of the organization log into production system. So when doing the implementation, your customer has given you the requirements. That requirement is first configured in the development system. And then these configured developments are tested by the business owners or the process owners or the customers, some of the business users. They would be logging into quality system and test the configurations what we have done. They'll have to certify that yes, we have given this requirement and this requirement is working fine. We have tested, we have hired some employees. While hiring the employee, we can see all of the data that we have requested for, or while transferring the employee or while promoting the employee, we are getting this approval process. This is what is expected. So they will certify that. The testing is called UAT, user acceptance testing. That is done by the business users here in quality system. Once you get the sign off that yes, these configurations are working fine, you move it to production system where you have all employee data. In quality or in development system, you can hire some dummy employees. You can terminate some employees. You can transfer some employees. You can promote some employees. You can do all of these testings in development and quality, but not in production. Production, you will have all the employee data, actual employee data in production system. You will not do any kind of testing in production system. If something is not working, you first you'll have to test it in quality system. Any change that your customer has asked, first do it in development. You do that development, you test it in development. That is called unit testing. Let's say my customer has asked me to add a field in personal information. Personal information contains some fields like first name, last name, middle name, gender, salutation, and so on. Your customer has asked me to create a field called some field like no blood group. Okay. And they wanted to have the values in the blood group: O positive, O negative, B positive, B negative, no AB positive, AB negative, and so on. So I've created a new field called blood group, added all of those values in that drop down. So I have tested it, it is working fine. So I'll ask my customer, I'll move this configuration to quality system and I'll ask my customer to test it in quality system. Customer will go log in and see if the field shows up, if the field is giving all of those values that they have asked. If they want to have, no, while testing it, they identified or no, they realized that we have all of the values, but what if somebody, no, blood group is different than what we have configured. So we should be having one more value called others also. So that's a change again they are asking in quality system. So you'll have to make that change in the development. You add the others in the drop down. Then you move it to quality. Ask your customer, now test it. It will show up the other as well in the drop down. So this is fine, this is working fine. Your customer says yes, looks good. Now go and implement this change in the production system. So till then, we didn't had a field called blood group in production. Now after this change, users will also see the field called blood group. They will be able to edit or update their blood group as well. So this is the basic setup which is required for any customer across the globe. Development, quality and production system. Sometimes some customers may ask for additional systems. Let's say they want to have one more additional system called test. They want to have one more additional system called pre-production. Whatever name that they give. They want to have, let's say, these two additional systems. What do they want to use this application? What these systems for? Pre-production is a copy of production. Just in case if tomorrow if something happens in production system, I should have backup. So copy it is into pre-production. Copy all of the production data to pre-production. I have some issue in the production system. I want to replicate that issue. So you have the similar data available in pre-prod. Go and test it there. Instead of hiring that employee, maintaining the same data in quality or in test system, you use the pre-production system which is similar to production, which is a copy of production. The data is available here. So go test it. Maybe I want to do some testing. I don't want to use pre-production system because that's a copy of production. So I want to test something in test system. Yes, you can use it. So minimum number of systems that is required for all customers is 3, and maximum can be any number. It can be 4, it can be 5, it can be 6, it can be only 3. It all depends upon customer. Now when customer subscribes for this product, they get these three systems, and any other system that they want to have, they have to pay for that. If they want to have 2 systems, then they'll have to pay additional amounts for these 2 systems. This comes as a part, dev, quality and production. And any other system that they want to have, they can pay and start using it. Why? Because each of this system occupies some space. When you're storing some data, when you're hiring some employees, that means system is storing that data in database. So it needs some space to store that data, right? So they'll have to pay for that space. Any doubts so far? No doubts? Types of system, landscape, types of projects, responsibilities.
No.
No? All clear?
Yes.
Yes. Why are others not responding? Feeling sleepy?
Yes, it's clear, sir.
It's clear. Thank you. So can we stop it here for today? We'll talk
Yes,
about certification and other areas in tomorrow's session. We'll talk about the
Okay.
storage, how the data gets stored in the system, where does this data get stored? Okay. And then we'll talk about certification, how to do the certification, and other portals, like what all portals that we use for implementing. Okay.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you all. I'm not taking full 1 hour of session the first day because I think it is too much. Okay. I'll go slowly. Maybe after 4 5 sessions, we'll see if everybody understands. We can have one complete hour, 1 hour or 1 hour 10 minutes, depending on your understanding. Okay. Thank you all. We'll catch up tomorrow.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
sure. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Bye.
So informative session. Okay.
Thank you, Venu.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, Venu.